Well, that was quite a little journey from the back to the front. And some of the headstones, they're not very well taken care of. It's hard to see some of them. I can't make them out. Some of them can't read at all. But I think I found a little group of them. Now I'm not sure, the relationship. Like I'm sure they were related to my grandfather. That's that I know. These were all the Gregorys, and they all seem to kind of repeat the names, like Charles Gregory. It was kind of if you Charles Gregory was one. Isn't that name will come up a lot, like especially in the Capes Cove history. Charles Gregory was one in there too. They seem to like to take that name and kind of use it over and over. Elizabeth, that's the name that's there too. It's kind of I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe they weren't very creative. Now I don't know what kind of really people these were, but I heard they were good people as far as I know. The evil didn't really get manifested until my grandfather, that I know of, because I haven't heard anything about any of the others at all. I'm trying to see if any of them I've ever got to meet. Don't see any yet, and I'm not stepping on somebody's grave to do that. I sure don't. There's quite a few Gregorys out here, but I'm trying to find his parents. I know they're out here. That's who I'm looking for. They might be up here. I can't remember. It has been a while since I come out here. A long while. Like I said, I came out here with my mother because, she was real big on paying her respects. Even if they didn't treat her right, she came out here to pay respects. That's just the way she was. I'll tell you, the grass is thick. This cemetery is attached to a church that burnt down. And there was a lot of speculation that my grandfather may have had something to do with it. And I really don't doubt it, because he burnt down my grandmother's home place where she was born. The land that the house sat on is still there. And the story still lingers through all the people and that, passed down what they knew. Because when I came here, I was across the street trying to find where my mother's brothers were actually buried here in this cemetery. And people, when they found out they would ask me, what family are you talking about? And I would tell them, and they wouldn't talk to me. They just would not talk to me at all, because I was one of them, and they didn't know which one I was, so they wouldn't speak to me. And I finally got this one lady, bless her heart, she come back outside and she asked me, what order of birth was I? And I told her I was the second child of my mother's. And, she said, well, sit down, let me tell you. She wanted to know what I knew. And once she realized that I wasn't in the dark on anything, and I was probably a little hard to just, once I get on to something, I'm not going to stop. It was just, this was something I had to do. I really felt in my heart I had to do it. So I was determined, and she kind of knew that. So she, bless her heart, sat down on that porch and told me, about what area they were in and who they were near, and how that all happened, how the plots were given to my grandfather, and she told me the name that gave it to him, and and she spent a couple of weeks over here with me, walking around trying to find them. And we ended up going and getting an old caretaker that used to take care of this place. It looks like it's a shame he ain't taking care of it now. because it looks pretty rough to me. And that he came out here with me, and God help us. I know we had to work every law in the book, but he gave me a metal rod, and you know, he told me what to do because he didn't want to do it. He poked it in the ground, and you know, a box. You know, back then they would bury in a box, so it would give, and you know, the new ones don't. You'd know what you're hitting anyway. And he told me I'd know what I was hitting. So that's how, you know, I was doing that. We're going to go back down there and I'll show you. This was my grandfather's sister. And when I moved here, you know, I had never met any of them. And I did meet her. And she was the sweetest woman. And she treated me so good. And she told me so many things that I didn't know. You know, just wonderful stories. And she also told me, you know, that all the bad things that I had known, they were true. And it saddened her that her brother was like that because, you know, they were raised by a Baptist minister. But, you know, I didn't get to spend that much time with her because she passed away in 99. And I moved here in 97. And she was taking me to this reunion where she had told me I would meet a whole lot more people. You know, and I questioned whether I really wanted to or not. But if they were like her, I was okay with it. But all I had known was the evilness of my grandfather. So I was kind of uncertain about that one. But I was going to go, but bless her heart, she passed away. And I missed it. I didn't go. Because I didn't feel comfortable, you know, showing up there without her. No one knew who I was, you know. I'll tell you that later on. My sister had invited me to a church she was attending, and I went. And I look around the room there, and I see these people, a couple of people, that had, so funny. They were tall, and they had curly hair. And I was looking at them, and I thought, Lord, they kind of favor us. So I found out after a few days that, yes, indeed, they really were related. In fact, it was their house that the reunion was taking place at. So that was interesting. I did meet him. Keep this video a little short. I'm going to stop it right here and pick it right back up as I walk back up to the front.